Hey everybody, welcome to Lawn Doctor Live. My name's Kendall Hines, and I own Lawn Doctor here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Every Friday, including the Black Friday after Thanksgiving, we come to you to tell you about business growth in Grand Rapids. And today I have a very special guest. I've been wanting to get him on the show for a while now. We met a couple weeks ago, and his story's, pretty amazing. How he ended up in Grand Rapids, and I couldn't think of a better person to have on Lawn Doctor Live, none other than Derek Willis, number 33, with the Grand Rapids Drive. You can see his Instagram handle at the bottom of the screen. Go follow him on Instagram. Twitter too, right?
Twitter too. It's Derek_Willis33 for
awesome.
Twitter, though. So yeah.
So Derek, he's 6'9", 228, power forward, right?
Yep.
And it plays for the Grand Rapids Drive here. So welcome to the show, man.
Hey, glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you could
appreciate
make it in. I've been wanting to bring you in for a while now. So let's get into your background. Okay, where'd you come from? How did you end up here in Grand Rapids of all places? I know you're from Kentucky. Where did all the story start?
Really, obviously it started in Kentucky. Always just grew up playing basketball. Always something I was into, sports. Played baseball a little bit. And that was just a big part of my life, and grew up a U of L fan, being from Louisville, Kentucky. And then once I started getting recruited by other D1 schools, that's when Kentucky got in the mix. And, just at the time, Kentucky was booming. Like, they had this class come in with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, and people were like, oh my gosh, like, what is this guy doing? It was just like sweeping college basketball, was changing things around. I was like, man, I want to be a part of this so bad. And I jumped on board. I thought it was the best decision, both, away from basketball and also, on the court as well. So
right. So, how many offers did you have other than Kentucky where you had to sit there and say, you know what, I'm gonna do the hometown Kentucky thing instead of going with like somebody else? How many offers were on the table for you?
When I was 15, I committed to Purdue, and I didn't really understand at the time what kind of went with that, and I thought I could go see other schools, and just like if people wanted to like have me just to visit, like I could go visit, but I was like my mind's already set on where I'm going to go, but
right.
It'd be kind of cool to see what else was out there. And I kind of had like a indifference with like Matt Painter on, and he was like, if I got you committed, why you need to go see other schools,
right.
Which made sense. And I was like, well, I think I'm gonna have to, take a step back and rethink my decision. And it killed me to, give him that phone call, and it was really like tough for me as a 15-year-old. But I went through with it, and I'm glad.
At 15?
Yeah.
So at 15, you already committed to Purdue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So before that, were you just killing it, dunking all the kids in the gym, as a 12-year-old? Where did?
No, I always people always knew that I was like a talented player, but it was just like I wasn't polished. Like I didn't have it all like kind of put together. And once I hit that, there was a gap between freshman and sophomore year where I kind of just like figured it out and got like more confidence in myself. That's when I started to take off, and other the big D1 schools started noticing me.
Right.
I was like, man, this kid can play. So that's when
So
that's
you were playing varsity freshman year. Was it that type of pathway that you took, or did they start you off on the lower levels in high school?
Oh yeah, no, I came in playing freshman in JV, and I thought that's just like what my plan was going to be for the whole year.
Right.
And yeah, freshman year I didn't even play varsity actually. I ended up transferring out of the school I was at freshman year and went to another school. It was like a county school.
Right.
It was in a real rural part of Kentucky. I don't want to say real rural, but like 20 minutes away from the city where I grew up. So, yeah, it was a little different, but I played varsity there from sophomore on to senior year.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So basically in that short amount of time, you went from playing freshman or junior varsity level basketball and then committing to Purdue within – 24 months after that. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So, what was it like? Playing in Kentucky, I wasn't a huge basketball fan until I met you, right? I'm pretty focused on making lawns green, thick, and weed-free. But, when I met you, I started getting into basketball a little bit, learning the dynamics of it. And I'm a college baseball player. I played college baseball for a couple years.
Right.
what was it like, in Kentucky? It was almost like, from the outside looking in, it's like pro basketball playing for the University of Kentucky, right?
Yeah, no, it really is. It's every bit of pro basketball. I mean, John Calipari, the whole coaching staff, what they do with us is like everything to the T. What happens in the NBA with your scheduling, how busy you stay, getting involved with community events, meeting people, all kinds of business people. Like it's just crazy. Like the networking is just insane, and then
and everybody kind of looks up to you, right? I mean, you're definitely in the spotlight. I remember you telling me stories. It's kind of crazy to think about here in little, Grand Rapids. We're second largest city in the state of Michigan, but I mean, even in Kentucky, I mean, there's 80,000 people that follow you on Instagram, for example. Right. I mean, it's like their religion almost in Kentucky, right? It's like basketball is like the thing to do.
Yeah, no, we don't have a professional team there, so it's like
okay, that makes sense probably why it's like that.
People literally raise their kids from birth up until they're adults, and they're insane about the University of Kentucky sports, like basketball especially, because it's we're a basketball state. So our fan base is literally insane though.
That's awesome. Hey, if you're just joining the stream, please like and share the stream. Me and Derek would both very much appreciate it. Please like and share the stream out to your following and family and friends that are on Facebook. So, obviously you went from playing for the University of Kentucky, being one of their standout, the hometown kid from Kentucky, which is freaking amazing. I couldn't even imagine that, your whole life. I'm sure there's many kids shooting hoops right now in Kentucky are like, man, I would kill to go play at University of Kentucky. What would you say to those kids that are shooting in the gym, and maybe their dream is to play for the University of Kentucky one day?
Right. I mean, and I think it translates. That's what I love so much about sports, is that everything that happens in sports translates every bit to things that are going to happen to you in your real life. You're going to be, regardless if you don't have a competitive nature, you're going to have a competitive nature, in real life. Somebody's going to compete for, you want a high position job, you're going to have to compete against many more people than I'm going to have to compete against, probably 20, 25 other interns. It all translates. And all you have to do is you just got to want it more than the other person. And you got to work really hard day in and day out and stay committed. And that's kind of what I did. And I feel like I could have worked harder and maybe been in even a better position than what I was. So
I mean, who are your role models, growing up? I mean, who did you look up to? Who kept you on that straight path? It was like, hey, you know what, you got something different. You need to focus on basketball and not hanging out with,
Well, I mean, of course your parents are going to, kind of steer you in the right direction. So my dad was always on me about that. I also looked up to, Muhammad Ali. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. And, I mean, he's one of the greatest humanitarians, just a great person.
Well, he said he was the greatest before he was,
yeah.
Right? He's had that attitude, right? It started in his mind, and lo and behold, I guess it's debatable. Maybe it's not debatable. I guess it depends on who you are, but he's considered one of the greatest fighters now.
Yeah, he's a legend where we're from, and I mean, he's a legend across the world. So I've really looked up to him, and also, playing basketball, I looked up to, LeBron James. He was the Michael Jordan of my generation, of course, and different players that I resembled their basketball game.
Absolutely. So, you graduated obviously from the University of Kentucky. What was your degree in? What did you study there?
I studied communication. If I could have went back and knew what I knew now, I would have went and did exercise science, probably, just because I'm so involved with athletics, and my career after basketball is all said and done is probably going to be with athletics as well. So right. I feel like I wish I would have did that, but I'm here now.
Right. So I mean, you got your degree. You definitely used that to your advantage. Now, Now let's fast forward to where we're at today, right? You're playing for the Grand Rapids Drive. They're an affiliate team of the Detroit Pistons. How did that whole process start? Were you contemplating playing pro? Even when you were at the University of Kentucky, or was that a thing? After you graduate, what? I have the chops to go up in and swing the bat and see what happens with
Yeah,
that.
no. I mean, honestly, I came in freshman year, and it was a really humbling experience for me because I went from being like a top player, if not the best player in the state of Kentucky, to not playing at all. And I was like, wow, man, like, am I even going to play basketball ever again? Like, this is crazy. I got to play against these dudes every year, like dudes who had way more like credentials than I had. Like, it was an uphill battle for sure. So I honestly thought, like, from freshman, even up until my junior year, I didn't think I was going to ever play pro basketball. And then I broke through that barrier, and then my whole, like, game plan changed. I was like, oh, my God, like, I can do this thing. I can get to the league. I can do this. Like, I've won against these dudes. I've won against, dudes who get drafted in the lottery every year. I can do this thing, and I'm doing all right against them. So
how did that process start? Now, I did some background research. It looked like you got invited to the Miami training camp first. Is that true, or how was your whole process? How'd you end up with the Drive and the Pistons? Like, what was that?
Oh man,
process?
it was a process for sure. I almost went ahead and just like did the overseas thing. Just went overseas, and I could have made a killing doing that right now. But no, what happened was, my agent they talked to all the teams in the league prior to when you leave college, trying to get like word out, like which team likes you and all that stuff. So Detroit, he felt like I had a really good shot with Detroit getting on their team, and so I did a workout with Detroit, Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers. I want to say there was one more team. I can't remember though, not off the top of my head. But I went with the Detroit Pistons, and I did summer league with them, and it all just worked out. Like, they loved what I did. Like, had a good showing. They thought I could really help them out. Went to training camp with them over the Miami Heat, because I was supposed to do the summer league with Miami Heat, and I just scratched that. But they were really impressed with me, and they want to see my development, and that's why I'm here now at the Grand Rapids Drive doing my thing. Yeah,
well, I mean, doing your thing in a big way, too, because we attended the first game, and it was pretty amazing. It was actually a buzzer beater to the end, and Derek scored the winning buzzer beater. It was a rebound, right, off the glass of the rim? And that video is sick, because I went back and looked at it, and it was pretty freaking amazing. Like, probably the fullest I've ever seen the Deltaplex for Grand Rapids Drive game, and it was a buzzer beater, game winner, pretty cool way to start off your pro career, officially, right? That was your first
definitely.
Pro game.
That was my first pro game, yeah. It was pretty. It was the first like pro game where I actually played significant minutes. Yeah. So it was dope though.
So what? I mean, you guys are 4-4 now. I know you guys started off hot, right? It was like an undefeated start.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, I mean, you guys are kind of on a loss streak, but that's going to change tonight because there's a game tonight at what time? It's 7?
It's at 7, yeah.
7. So there's a 7 o'clock tip-off time. So that's going to change tonight, but I noticed in the stats, in the schedule, in the roster, it was – these losses aren't like blowout. They're like 1-point losses. Yeah,
close games, of course. I mean, our record doesn't do us any justice of how good our team really is. We're just, we got bad habits, and we got to break some of them. And
right.
That's about it.
It's kind of like a dream team, right? You got all these freaking top of the notch college basketball players from University of Kentucky. All these best. I mean, the Sweet 16, I'm sure, is well represented on the Grand Rapids Drive team. I don't know where everybody else is from.
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of players that's played in the NCAA, March Madness tournament, all that, yeah.
So that's amazing that you're bringing all this talent together in trying to create a team around all this talent. So it's pretty amazing. I'm sure it takes a little time to get gelling and meshing and,
of course,
knowing where somebody's going to be when you're going to pass the ball and knowing that they're going to be there. I'm sure it takes time to get that synergy down with them. So, but that's going to change tonight. We're going to go to 5-4 tonight, and then and then keep the win streak going for there. So, I mean, what does a day in the life look like for you? I know when I played college baseball, it was all sports, right? You wake up, you hit the gym, you eat healthy, right? So, I mean, what does the day in the life look like for you right now?
Oh man, it's a 24-hour commitment. So, like, I mean, my routine hasn't changed much from college. Honestly, I wake up, eat breakfast, most important meal of the day.
And
then then I get on, do my work. I get to the gym, stretch out, get treatment if I need it, get on the court, get some shots up, do some little skill work, and then get ready for practice. And I do my thing there. And then afterwards, get right into eating. Eating. I gotta consume so much food in a day. It is insane. And
especially with how much you're lifting, probably, right?
Yeah. So I mean, not only with the lifting and just like when we practice, like I burn, like I just run through the calories and I sweat so much. So for me to maintain weight and even try and gain weight, I got to eat like ridiculous amount of food. So.
How many calories do you think or not even calories? How many shots do you think you take in a practice? Like 1,000, or does that seem like a lot?
I would say on different days it could get up to 1,000. Yeah. It just depends on what I need to work on. Some days I'll just get in there and just start like running like up and down the court just because I feel like I didn't condition well enough. So I mean, this is literally like the most simplest things like will get you so prepared for the game. Like it's insane.
Man, that's awesome. So it sounds like they have a really good program for, making sure you guys are getting the best training and, nutrition and conditioning too. So
of course.
that's always important. So I mean, outside of basketball, obviously you excel at basketball, right? You're great at basketball. You wouldn't be playing for the Grand Rapids Drive if that wasn't the case. What is the personal life outside of? I know you have a fiance, right? And that kind of. Right. I mean, basketball was kind of embedded into your relationship a little bit, right? There was a proposal. Tell me about the proposal story, because I know that's a hot topic right now, I guess, in your life. Everybody seems to know about that.
Yeah. We're I don't mean to brag, but we're kind of big time back in the state of Kentucky. I did it. The way I proposed to Keely, it's my fiance, I had it planned that senior night I was gonna, do the whole proposal ceremony in front of her, and I felt like it'd be important because I'm the type of guy I don't like attention necessarily, so like it really wasn't. I had to excuse all that, and I made like this big surprise, big deal for all these fans to share this incredible moment with us in Rep Arena. And people, like, still to this day, when we go back home and, like, whatever on my social media, I'll see people hit me up like, oh, my God, man, like, how'd you do that? Like, you set the bar so high now. Like, oh, my God, what am I going to do with my girlfriend? Like, people are cracking on me, like, when I'm going to propose. So, I don't know. It was simple, though. I just wanted to make it special for her. And
how hard was that to coordinate? Did you have to, like, get with the coaches, get with the arena people? Like, who helped you coordinate that?
Oh, honestly, I just went. It was so simple. I went and told Coach Calipari. I was like, man, like, Coach, I don't want to take away from the game tonight, but I'm going to be – well, actually, I said this 3 days prior to the game. I was like, I'm going to be proposing to my girlfriend, Keely, who he knew.
Right.
He knew her, and he was like, oh, wow, man. Like, he wanted to go, like, above and beyond. Everything was like, man, like, all right, we're going to have this video set up for you. I'm going to give you the mic. You can speak to the crowd, all this stuff. I was like, no, Coach, I don't need,
that's the way to
I don't
do
need
it,
to do all that,
you got
man.
the video screen, right? 50,000 people. 50,000 or more?
It's about 30, but
30,000
it probably
people.
Feels like 50, though. Like, it's a lot of people in there for a college game.
That was an amazing video. I mean, there was freaking – it looked like 50,000 people, but 30,000 even – like the Van Andel Arena only holds – I think like 12,000. So it's like
it's a lot more than you would expect. It's a lot of damn people. But
so she said yes, obviously.
Yeah, right? That's why I did it in front of all the crowd, because I was like, she can't say no.
Yeah,
at this
she can't
point.
say no now, right? It's
no way.
It's done deal. So that's. I mean, when's the wedding date? And it must be coming up next year, right?
It'll be August 4th next year. So yeah, back in Kentucky.
And that's taking place back in Kentucky.
Yes.
What part? I mean, what are you guys doing it in like the rural areas or downtown Kentucky?
So there's a town where her family lives at. They own a Honda dealership out there.
Okay.
We're gonna do it. They also own this golf course too. So we're gonna do it on like the back side of this golf course. There's like a bar. It's a really good setup. Like, so a lot of space. It's gonna be nice.
Oh man, that's awesome. And then I know, I mean, we had talked about before we hopped on this live stream that it's like a really cool idea to do. I mean, as she's supporting you, I'm sure. I mean, she's been there with you from the start, right? I mean, since you guys met we met
in college sophomore year, but I started playing the year after that, and that's when she was there for like the takeoff of my basketball career, really.
And she's been there ever since, and now she was proposed to in front of 30,000 people, and So I mean, how do you like Grand Rapids so far? What's your take on the city? I'm sure it's a little bit slower than Kentucky for you, right? A little bit smaller.
It is, but I mean, I'm not complaining though. I'm a slow kind of guy, so it's like I don't want to be
fast on the court, slow off the court, right?
Yeah, everything's got to be very slowed down for me. And no, I'm not like a guy who likes going to big cities necessarily. Like, I like visiting them, but I couldn't live in one. If that makes sense. Like,
right. So this is almost the perfect situation. I mean,
love it.
It's a smaller city, but that big town vibe. I mean, right now we're downtown, Venue Tower, 7th floor. We shoot every Friday. So if you're just joining the stream, please like and share the stream. We both appreciate it. Today we got Derek Willis, number 33, with the Grand Rapids Drive. If you're just joining the stream, go back and watch this. We covered a lot of great content so far.
Don't want to miss out.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out because there's lots of great content. And you don't want to miss the game tonight. It's at 7 p.m. at the Deltaplex. And they're playing the Sioux
Falls Skyforce.
Sioux Falls Skyforce. How does that G League work? I was a little confused about that. But they just changed that this year, right? It's the Gatorade. The
Gatorade League, yeah. I think it's a bunch of like corporation stuff where the Gatorade people bought out the NBA or they pay so much to the NBA
they're like sponsoring it.
Yeah, something like that. So basically it was the D League, now it's the G League, same thing, same concept. So
But how does it work though? I know that like you're playing for the league and then any team can pull you up to their professional team. Is that how it works?
So I'm an affiliate G League player, so basically all that means is that as an affiliate that says like I went to training camp with the Detroit Pistons. So there's like another affiliate player like me who also went to training camp with me, who's been my roommate. He was there, but we can get pulled up by any team. It doesn't matter. Like now, if you're a two-way player, that's a little different situation. You're pretty much owned by whatever team you're a two-way player.
Right. You have like an agreement with them that says they can pull you up at any time.
Right.
So you're kind of free game at this moment, if another professional team saw you playing and was like, hey, we need him in this position at the big league, right? They can pull you up.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. It sounds like there's a lot of positive stuff. When were you born? I know you're younger than me, obviously. I'm 26, so I was born in 91.
Yeah, 95. I'm 22. Yeah.
Okay. So 22, living the dream, played for the University of Kentucky. Now he plays for the Grand Rapids Drive, and having a great season so far from what I've seen in the stats. So
yeah, it's been good.
Really appreciate you stopping in today and letting me learn more about you and have the people that follow our channel. We get a couple thousand views off of each episode, so I really appreciate you stopping by. If you don't have anything to do, or even if you do have something to do tonight, cancel it because it's the Grand Rapids Drive Black Friday. Is it Black Friday? It is Black Friday today.
Black Friday, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the Black Friday game, right? So, bring the family down. Chances are you have work off. Go check out the game. They're playing the Sioux City Skyforce. Sioux City Skyforce, and they're gonna freaking dominate them. Right now they're 4-4 on the season, and they're ready to turn around, turn it back to a win streak tonight at the Deltaplex, 7:00 p.m. So go check them out. If you're just joining the stream, please like and share the stream and go back and watch it. It's been a great episode learning more about Derek and his road to Grand Rapids and
yes sir.
And here, so I mean, what does the future look like for you? I mean, is it kind of, it's almost like you're in a town you never lived in before, right? So it's like you're just kind of taking it day by day and trying to get better and better at basketball, right? I mean,
yeah, it's a grind. I feel like this the most important thing right now is just not lose your vision, and not only with sports, just with anything in life. Like, you want to obviously always be pursuing some kind of goal, and that's what I think is cool about like Kendall is that with Lawn Doctor, he's been pursuing his goal and he makes that like clear. Like right off the bat, I met him, I was like, man, this dude is like so serious about like his company and his brand, and he's trying to do everything he can to get this thing going, and I'm like, dang, that is really crazy because I ain't met someone like that in a smooth minute. So yeah, that was really cool.
Dude, I appreciate that. I mean, you wouldn't think with lawn care it'd be the sexiest thing. Like, obviously, it'd be really cool. Like, if I was a professional basketball player, I'd be like, you know, I'd be doing freaking live stream, like just crazy type of stuff. But we're trying to make lawn care sexy, right? We're trying to make lawn care as sexy as we can. Like, everybody likes a nice, green, thick, weed-free lawn. Even in Kentucky. I've been down to Kentucky.
Right, oh yeah.
And you know what? They have lawns down there. They have lawns in Florida. They have lawns in Texas, right? And it's like, I think it's so American, right? It's like, it's almost as American sports, right? With football and baseball. What do all those things have in common? They're all played on turf, right? And you know those turf that you see on the NFL, the NHL, or not NHL, they play on ice, but the NBA, nope, they play on the basketball court too. The NFL, I mean, it's grass, right? And more importantly, it's weed-free, and it's green and thick and lush. You don't have any ugly grass out there. You don't have any ugly lawns. So I really appreciate everybody that's watching the stream. If you have any questions for Derek, drop them in the comments below, and I'll have him answer. If you're not doing anything tonight, make sure you go check out their game at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Deltaplex. So, Derek, really appreciate you coming on the show today. Hopefully we can do this again soon, maybe at the end of the season after it's wrapped up. Hopefully you're still here. Actually, hopefully you're not here, right?
Shoot,
hopefully you're over in Detroit.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
With the big club, helping them out,
right.
winning a championship. So really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Appreciate that.
And you know what? Good luck tonight and for the rest of the season. So if you're just joining the stream, please like and share the stream. Today we talked with Derek Willis, number 33, power forward with the Grand Rapids Drive affiliate team of the Detroit Pistons. Played for the University of Kentucky for Coach
John Calipari.
Is it Calipari or Calipari?
See, this is the thing. It's a Kentucky thing.
Is that
I don't
a
know.
debate in Kentucky?
It kind of is, isn't? Like, we were talking about this yesterday. Literally, like, is it Calipari, Calipari? Like, I say Calipari, but I don't know. I think it's a Kentucky thing, I guess.
So Coach Calipari at the University of Kentucky. And now he's in Grand Rapids, Michigan, ready to make his mark and then go on to the league after this, so the big league. So really appreciate you coming on the show today. Really appreciate everybody tuning in and liking and sharing the stream and watching the show. We'll see you next Friday on Lawn Doctor Live. Have a great day.
Yep. Cool.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Let me stop the stream here. We got a hot mic still.